Hello everyone, it's Melissa, and today I'm back sharing a 12 by 12 layout I made for my daughter's first day of school. She is an 8th grader now, and she just, she's a little mini me. I just love it. So I'm starting off by pulling from my product jar. You can see here I've got washi tape, mist, clips, ribbon, brads, stitching or sewing, and labels. And I want to start off by saying that my title was actually from a Jilly Bean Soup Project Life cut file, little pack. My girlfriend had given it to me, and it had 3x4 size pre-cut elements, and this was one of them. And it reads All That Awesome in One Kid. And you can see there I have some Distress Oxide ink out, and that particular one is Gathered Twigs. And I'm going to begin by coloring this cut file because I didn't want it white. There you can see I have it all colored and I'm not liking it, and so I went ahead and pulled some black soot. I figured I wasn't sure on the black, so it was easier to try the brown and then go to black if I didn't like it. So I in fact do like that, and so I'm going to begin starting with my layout. Using the Teacher's Pet collection from Echo Park, designed by one of my really sweet friends, Jen Gallagher. She's super talented, and I pretty much love everything she does. So I'm actually debating between white and the circle pattern paper background. I'm leaning more towards this at the moment. I'm really liking it. So now I'm just going to use and pull elements from my stash to get started. This piece of pattern paper that I'm using is white with very faint yellow grid. It's almost like a graph paper, but the lines are yellow. And so it's really going to help my title pop against that background, that light background. Okay, so now you can see that I've just pulled some things from my stash. I am using my Stampin' Up! Spiral notebook punch and, just playing around with placement. I've got a arrow clip pulled, some old chipboard from the Simple Stories Smarty Pants collection, and that green, it's like a cut apart from a Project Life sheet. I'm not exactly sure where that's from, but I've already cut out the word Smart Cookie, and I've placed it on my photograph. It's going to actually stay in that spot in the end, but you can also see there is a heart circle element. That's from Amy Tangerine. That actually doesn't stay on the layout, but I was trying it out here. I've got a navy pattern paper there for some color, and also the striped pattern paper, which is what I'm using to pull my color scheme from. I in fact don't like the notebook punch on this orange one. It was just overkill, so I just cut it off. I have some scraps of red from my stash there. This is all stuff that I pulled from my school themed products, and I'm happy to finally get that chipboard ruler used up out of my stash. And in fact, it was significant for me as an element because it had the 1 through 8, and she's in fact in 8th grade. So next I have the frayed burlap, hickory smoke, and a black Studio Calico mist. And what I want to do is put some splatters on my paper, but I don't have a gray in my stash. So I just mixed them and used a paintbrush, and yeah, that's how they came out. I really like it. It was subtle. I didn't want black. Sometimes black is way too much for me. I just wanted something subtle in the background to give that paper a little bit more dimension. And yeah, so I'm just going to start adhering everything. You guys know that I could play around forever and never stick anything down. So my first rule is to stick it and go from there. So that's what I'm doing, just roughing up the edges here. And I'm adding just a couple more layers of pattern paper, all, super old. Aside from that Teacher's Pet collection, which honestly I don't know how old that is, but I bought it in an expo at the Echo Park booth. All that other stuff is really old. And so I am just going to reassemble my layout and start gluing things down. Being super aware of the fact that I want to get my products used on my page. I have pulled a blue Stampin' Up! Ribbon from my stash, and here I'm using a circle punch and punching out the element from that piece of pattern paper, and it in fact says Star Student. And I'm just going to give it a little more stability, and I am going to glue it onto a piece of scrap cardstock. I believe I choose yellow. And then in my true form, you see I have my epoxy bubble stickers to the left there, and I'm going to get one of those on there, and it will act as a piece of flair on my page, which I totally love making my own. It's super easy and fast, and yeah, I just can't stop, won't stop, basically. So, like I mentioned, this is my daughter's first day of school for 8th grade. She loves school. It's really a social aspect for her, but she's super smart, super kind, and just a really great kid. So this stamp is on vellum. It is an Allie Edwards stamp, and it's called I Love School. It's very old. And I stamped it on vellum, and I embossed it with a detailed white embossing powder. I then cut it out with the Chalk Talk framelits from Stampin' Up! This product is no longer available, but pretty much any element will do. I just wanted something in that space on vellum. And yeah, how I feel about stamping white on pictures. So here I'm showing you some fun clips, or not clips, they're not even buttons either. They're kind of look like buttons, but they have a, I don't even know what you call it, but I threaded the ribbon through there, and it's like I weaved it through that element, and I'm going to make it look like a piece of flair. And so I'm going to I cut a heart from my stash, a red heart from cardstock. I put it on a piece of white circle punch, and I'm going to glue that in the center of, almost like a buckle type thing. And I adhered it with some score tape, the ribbon, and I'm just going to use my Tim Holtz tiny attacher to attach that vellum piece to my photo. And I love it. One of the things you can see there on the page is a pencil with kind of a little doodle on there. That I found on an old, on an old Creative Memories sticker sheet. Way back when I was, and if they wouldn't have gone under, I'd still be in love with their product, but I had a bunch of the same collection, and so I have several sheets of those stickers that I just use, as I can, like all the rest of my stash. And yeah, I had a little light bulb moment that came to me, and I am super excited with how it turned out. So you'll see that as we go along here. So you just saw me put the white little circle in the center of that buckle button type thing, and I'll eventually add some glossy accents to that heart. I'm going to pop this up on some dimension with my extra foam letters there, only because I'm using a piece of that chipboard on the one side, and so it won't lay flat, because I'm going to tuck that 1 through 8 ruler element underneath there. So I've already started gluing quite a bit of things here off camera, and one of the things that I'm going to start doing is I'm going to fidget here a little bit with this pencil doodle and its doodle line. So I cut quite a bit of this out just because my head was in the way, which you're going to see a little bit here, and I apologize for that. But I just, I love how I was able to incorporate this squiggle into the title. And, quite often I will see people, using elements in place of an O, they'll use a heart, or in place of, or a button in place of, you know, all sorts of things like that. And I just love that. So whenever I can make my title a little more playful, yeah, I try to do it. I forget quite a bit, but when I remember, I'm always like, gosh, why don't I do this more often? I just totally love it. And so what you'll see here on the bottom is that I took the doodle and I strung it through the D at the end of kid on the bottom of my title. I put some foam on the back of that pencil, and to make that pencil stand out a bit more, I actually added some frayed burlap to the edges just to give it a little bit more dimension. You know, it was a flat sticker, so putting it up on foam and adding the ink to the edges made it quite a bit more prominent, which was what I was looking for. And so next I'm going to adhere my title with my squigglies and everything around there. And yeah, I just love it. Like, look how fun that is. All that awesome in one kid, and it could not be closer to the truth. She is, yeah, the apple of my eye. And she's super smart. And yeah, as a matter of fact, today I just came home from her being nominated for Student of the Month. So that was a big deal. I'm super proud of her. And so right there you see me playing with the Smart Cookie word. And I'm also, if you guys have seen any of my other videos, you know that I love the cut apart sheet with those words. And so here I am, I'm all done. Sorry, I skipped ahead a little bit, but that Fantastic is a wood veneer, and I got it maybe last year or the year before from Target's Dollar Spot. And it had the word job underneath, but I didn't need that, so I covered it up. And here I am showing you my sticker that I pulled from the sheet from Creative Memories. And I'm just going to start by giving you some close-ups. I did add, well, there's my label from October Afternoon. I stamped, or I put that on the side there. And the clip, I did adhere with some red thread from my stash. Sorry. I also added some washi tape. I tucked a little bit of it on the top there coming out from the striped paper. And I just love it, you guys. I am so pleased with how it turned out. If you like my videos and you want to see more, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. I will have my links to my social media sites in the description box below at Cut It Up Creations. There's a Facebook and an Instagram. I appreciate you so much for taking the time out to watch this video today. And I will be back soon with more shares. And I would love you as a subscriber, and thank you so much for watching, guys.